The killer whales. The most evil of all the sea-living creatures is the deadly killer whale. They live on a diet that consists mainly of seals and some sea lions. It's not that they have a deadly bite, it's 'cause they never use it. They play with their meal like sloppy little children. They can play with it for hours before delivering their final strike, raising the hope of the seal and tossing it between each other for fun. I know, they're brutal motherfuckers. There was a gang of ragtag youngsters in Apocalypse Now, and they called themselves the killer whales. They all wore badges on their backs in form of a killer whale covered in blood. The big whale called himself, or the leader called himself Seal Slayer, and he was more ferocious than all of them. So naturally she fell in love with him. They had a short love affair. Together they would rob, steal, scam. They took from the rich and they gave to the poor. She was intrigued by their naivety, a trait rarely ever seen. She would stop cars screaming for help. She would knock on doors screaming for help. And when their big gates opened, there was the killer whales attacking and robbing him dry. I think she was happy for a while. Their love ended when he or she realized that the thrill was the heist and not the love. They split ways, but often she saw their markings on walls. The one of a killer whale covered in blood. But as with everything, things fall into oblivion, and so did Seal Slayer. Male and female. Female sexuality has always been dangerous. Old teachers have told us that it's the one reason for humanity's suffering, she said, cuddling it to sleep. Women were once too intelligent to love, and therefore men suffered. So they tried to change the female way of thinking, but found that women were stubborn creatures, and therefore they resorted to lying. By lying and saying that women lived for the love and appreciation of a man, they slowly changed our way of thinking. It was a change of language rather than one of action. And then, of course, being raised in a world with Reagan and of a male language, it became the universal truth. That's how they created dominance. The male dominance has never been one of psychological nature, but one of linguistic. And so they created the laws of ownership. That's how we became property. So we made our sexuality into one of either denial or virginity. We do what we can to survive. We adapt. We became the mother that nurtures, or has never had or ever had sex, / has ever had a sex drive. Or she was awoken by his love and now she loves so much she can't be without him. But that hasn't always been the case. Once women were vampires. Scenes of insanity or scenes of heterosexual love. She had decided that in order to love, she needed to know if heterosexual love could ever be possible. So our story begins. And it goes something like this. I believe that Holly Jonsson or Frankie should be the president of the United States. Thank you very much.